Be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. With these words, once again, greetings to Jamaica, the diaspora, and the world. In the powerful name of God Almighty, I am the great defender. It is with sadness that we meet again, Jamaica. We have heard the perils that is taking place in our beautiful country. Once more, we realize some of our hard-working citizens have lost their lives at the hands of criminals. And crime is increasing. The criminals are becoming more brazen. And the saddest thing about it is that it is rumored, and it might be fact, that military personnel and police personnel are involved in these armed robberies and in many of the crimes going on across the country. Such facts are rather regrettable. It is with a sad and a heavy heart that I come to you with such bad news. But it is true. Police and soldiers are involved in many of the criminal activities in our country. Our leaders have failed to create the kind of mindset that will make Jamaicans have love one for another. And that is why in the beginning of this speech, I said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. The lack of motivation, the lack of inspiration by leadership over the years have sapped the morale out of the people. And so we have people behaving like crocodiles, going for the kill no matter what. Just for their belly full and their selfish needs, they go for the kill. The pain and anguish that they leave on the loved ones of their victims is of no concern to them. They have become ruthless. They have become heartless. They have become like wild animals, just killing for the meal. The problem we have that crime has become an industry, and many young men, unfortunately, get employed by being criminals. The hit jobs that are going on across the country must stop. The leaders who sit by and watch some of their favorite supporters slaughter the people at will and do nothing about it. In many countries, 3/4 of the leadership of Jamaica would have been in prison. The Parliament of Jamaica is corrupt. They are men who seems not to care about the country. There's not an ounce of patriotism in most of them. And so the issues that affect the common people are of very little concern to them. We see them shielding the high-profile criminals. We see the judicial system chastise policemen for their hard work and literally set criminals free. We see the fraud at the SSL. How many people have lost their money, and it seems like they want to hush it and just push it to the side. We look back at cases like the Donald Lee Donaldson case. which to me, at least 4 or 5 people should have been arrested already. This young lady did not go missing all by herself. They have one man in custody. He had help to move her body. He had help to do what he did, and nothing has been done. So we see where the country lacks the leadership to transform the country, to change the mindset of the people. Government is weak. Government is incapable. But the crimes are moving further and further uptown and closer to the leadership. And until they begin to feel the wrath of these criminals, that is when they will decide to do something about it. And we notice that the only people in Jamaica who pay the price for anything wrong is usually the common people, the taxi men. The government lives on them like lice in a dirty head. They abuse them. They ticket them senselessly. It is a shame what the government has done to these people that are so important in transporting people back and forth to work and school and to their different activities. The government is incapable of running an efficient transportation service. And so these small people go out there and do their thing to help the country move back and forth. And they are abused for their efforts. The higglers. We see the beating and abuse of some of the higglers, the breaking up of their stalls. The slackness that goes on across the country has angered the people, and they are taking it out on each other. The justice system that keeps on recycling the criminals, that refuse to put away the known criminals, they are the main reason why crime is so high in Jamaica. Because people are beginning to take matters in their own hands, because there's no justice. So they're carrying out their own forms of justice. And so this is breeding the industry of crime, that it's breeding criminals. It's people are now taking on jobs just to kill in order to eat. Mr. Government, this is like a jungle. How can you make a beautiful country like Jamaica become a jungle? Something must be done. And so I call on the people of Jamaica to begin to look for new leadership. You must begin to call for new leadership. You must begin to make your voices heard. The mothers that mourn the brutal slaying of their children senselessly. How many of your precious children do you want to lose as a country and as a people before you take a stand against crime? The criminals are rewarded and the hard-working people are abused. That is not the way a country should run. And I call on the government to bring out the military and to put them in all the places where they know the criminals come to prey on the people, and to give them order to shoot on sight. This has to stop. And so we have to get rid of the hindrances to progress, and so we can train our people to move forward in a more civilized manner. We have to spread love and unity amongst our people. The country is in shambles. The country is in tatters. The country is slowly slipping out of the hands and the grip of the leaders. They have no clue what to do. They have no ideas. They are senseless. I have called for a robust welfare system in Jamaica where every child 18 years and under should be given food stamps to the equivalent of about 15 or 20,000 Jamaican dollars per month because they have to eat daily. So we have to keep our children and elderly fed. That's number one. We need to retrain our population. We need to start prosecuting musicians who put violence in their songs because the influence that it has on the youngsters is leading to massive catastrophe. It is like a massive hurricane is moving across the island, but it's moving in the form of murder and crime. We have to do what it takes to save the country. It's not going to be easy. Some of your favorite politicians will lose some of their favorite supporters. The men that they strengthen and give the power and the leverage to slaughter the citizens at will. Some of them will have to be hanged publicly. It is a lot that has to be done to save Jamaica. But first, we have to have a robust welfare system where the children of the country are fed so that they don't turn to the criminals for handouts. And what we have is that the criminals are practicing a form of welfare system where they are feeding a lot of the youngsters, and so the youngsters feel indebted to them. And they join up with them and they form gangs, and it's getting worse. The mindset of the people is what the government has to work on first. But first of all, you have to start in Parliament. Until the government starts getting rid of some of the very politicians in Parliament, until the Prime Minister can stand up and demand the resignation of some of his ministers, the country cannot start to improve. It starts at the top. And there are lots of corrupt people in there that they know about, that they are afraid of. Until you start getting rid of some of these politicians. In other countries, they would have been exiled. And some of these men, quite frankly, need to be exiled. We cannot have a beautiful country like Jamaica. Everyone wants to run away from it. We might have to revalue the dollar or start to do things with the United States dollars. How about paying the people in American dollars? Because you charge them for goods and services based on the quotes you have from overseas. You're charging them like they are in America. They are in Jamaica earning paltry wages. The minimum wage is a disgrace in a country where hardship is so high. And so these are matters that must be immediately addressed. The minimum wage in Jamaica should be no less than $25,000 a week, unfortunately. But that is where things should be. Or, since the dollar has become worthless, let us pay the people in American dollars. Let them work, buy, and sell, and get paid in American dollars. It is simple. The Jamaican dollar has lost its luster. It has lost its shine. It has lost its value. So let us start doing things with United States dollars. That could be a start. But some massive moves must be made for the country to be better. The men that are going around murdering people for a meal, for money, for food, you are wicked. You are cold and you're cruel. The pain and anguish you have left on the family members of some of these people, it's not right. And this is amounting to terrorism. It cannot continue. And the people of Jamaica must stand up for their rights, must know that you should be able to walk the streets of your beautiful country without fear. Nowadays, if people are walking and they hear a car coming, they are worried. It could be gunmen. Where are the police? Where are the soldiers? Where are the methods to bring this madness to an end? Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, God bless you all. Thank you.